Today we're going to be talking about the big D word, diet. What and how should you be eating in order to begin losing weight? It's a huge question, so stay tuned and we are going to find out together. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about diet. It's hard to know when and what and how much to eat in order to start losing weight. And if you've done any research at all, you know that this is a complicated subject. And every person in the fitness industry has their own opinions and what they think is the right way to do it. And they will tell you that everybody else is wrong. So how are you supposed to know what is the right way? Well, today I'm going to be covering the basics. The core fundamentals that you need to know in order to start your fitness journey and begin losing weight. First of all, I want to start off by saying that when I say diet, I don't mean this specific diet that I'm going to say that you should go on and it's going to be really low carb or really high fat or like something like that. That's not what I mean by diet. I mean just your general diet from day to day, what you're eating. Let's talk about those things. The reason that I say that is actually because diets are kind of a dangerous thing when you're first starting out your weight loss journey. Because if you go on a diet, some crazy diet like that cuts your calories super low or you're doing super low carb, that's not sustainable. You cannot sustain that for a long period of time. So once you get off of that diet, you will gain all of that weight back plus more. Now, I'm not trying to say that diets like that are a super bad thing to an extent, and also if you do your research before you do them. But when you're first beginning, that is not a good way to start. At the very beginning, you should be starting and developing a new lifestyle and a new mindset for how you think about food. This will help you sustain your weight loss long term. So after you go and you lose all that weight, you won't go back to eating terrible again and gaining all that weight back. And by taking on this new lifestyle and mindset change, you will inevitably start to lose weight without having to go on some crazy crash diet in order to do it. Last summer, for instance, I lost 40 of the 50 pounds that I've lost just by starting to be mindful about the things that I ate and the portion sizes that I ate. Think about this as a marathon, not a sprint. You're in this for the long haul. It's not just about how much weight you can lose in the shortest amount of time possible. It's about how healthy you can become all over in general and whether you can sustain it or not. That's the important part. You don't want to go on this diet and lose all this weight and feel great and then go off of the diet and gain it all back. And trust me when I say that this is all a learning curve. I'm still learning. There is so much to know about fitness and health. If you're just beginning and you have quite a bit of weight to lose, just like I did, then you don't need to be taking any drastic measures in order to start seeing the weight coming off in the first place. These little things that you do, they will help you tremendously to start seeing the weight coming off. So where do you even begin with this lifestyle change then? Now I'm going to go over some questions that I know that I had when I first started my fitness journey, and I have seen plenty of people ask about these questions. And also I want to go through some misconceptions that you see through the media about how to lose weight. There are so many misconceptions about the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do, and you're supposed to do this, but you're not supposed to do that. There's so many little things like that that it can get so confusing. I want to clear those things up and tell you the real truth about those things. The first question: what should I be eating in order to lose weight? First of all, we have to come to terms with the facts. The truth is that losing weight comes solely down to calories in, calories out. If you're eating more calories in a day than you're burning, that will eventually lead to weight gain. So it doesn't matter if you are eating strictly only natural, healthy foods. If you're eating more calories than your body is burning in a day, even if they're healthy, you're still going to be gaining weight. And same goes for the opposite. If you eat only say McDonald's for every single meal all day long, but you are still below the calories that your body needs and you're burning more calories than what you're eating, you'll still be losing weight even if it is McDonald's that you're eating. These are both obviously super extreme examples, but I just want you to understand how weight loss truly works. That being said, just because you could eat all unhealthy, processed, unnatural foods and still be able to lose weight if you're eating below the amount of calories that your body needs, that doesn't mean that you should. That doesn't mean that you will benefit from it. That doesn't mean that you will feel good about yourself after you're done doing that. So eating the right kind of foods does play a huge part in this as well. Your body needs the right amount of macronutrients. The macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fat. And it also needs the right amount of micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals that your body needs and it gets from the food that you eat. It needs both of those things in order to keep functioning properly. There are so many side effects to not giving your body the nutrients that it needs through the foods that you eat. Some of these are low energy, your immune system will go down, it'll affect your hormones, you'll develop unhealthy skin, hair, and nails, and it's not good for an optimally running metabolism, which is huge in losing weight. You want a fast running metabolism, one that is up to speed and it's keeping up with the things that you eat. Not to mention the long-term effects that this has on your body as well, like heart disease and other sorts of diseases, diabetes, cancer. It makes you age faster. There's just so many bad things that come along with not taking care of your body by giving it the nutrients that it needs through the foods that you're eating. So many age-related diseases and problems come from not taking care of your body while you're younger, by not eating the right foods that your body needs and by not staying active. So does this mean that you should only be eating the healthy, real foods all the time and never get to go outside of that box and eat some unhealthy, fun foods that we know that we all enjoy? A lot of people would say yes. And obviously that's optimal for your health of your body. But also, this is life. Life happens. We like to have fun. We like to go out and enjoy things. And you should. This is life. You should enjoy the things that you like. It all comes down to still being able to enjoy and live your life while maintaining an overall healthy and balanced lifestyle. Balance is the key word here, and moderation. Everything in moderation. I'm sure you've heard that. And the same goes here. Those unhealthy foods are not going to just kill you right on the spot. They're not gonna cause you so much damage inside of your body from eating them one time. Maybe from eating them once a month. It's not gonna kill you. It's about not eating them every single day and having them in moderation when the time comes. That way your body is still getting the nutrients that it needs while you're still being able to enjoy the things that you love. I'd just like to say though that there is a time and place for being balanced and there's a time and place for being super strict. For instance, if you have a short-term goal that you are trying to reach and you feel that you have the determination inside of you to really stick to a strict, very strict diet and meet that goal in whatever amount of time that you're trying to meet that goal in, that's a good time to stay super strict. And when I am doing that, which I'm doing that right now, I am on a cut right now for 16 weeks trying to get down to a certain body fat percentage. And that means that I am giving myself zero leniency in my diet. Like, I don't have any cheat days. I don't let myself go. I make sure to stick to my meal plan all day, every day, because I am trying to reach this goal. That doesn't mean that this is maintainable for the rest of my life. But I know that when I get off of this super strict diet that I'm on right now, I can go back to that balance. I'm not gonna go back to eating crappy food all the time when I'm done with this. I'm gonna go back to eating still a lot of healthy food, but still also giving myself a little bit more leniency than I'm giving myself right now. So there is a time and place for everything, for balance and for being strict. But the only thing that I'm saying here is that when you're first beginning, you have probably, like I did, quite a bit of fat to lose. And by maintaining and learning this lifestyle and this mindset change, you will begin to lose weight without having to be super duper strict. The weight will start to come off by maintaining this balance and even this 80-20 rule. If you don't want to do the 80-20 rule, do 90-10 or do 95-5. Or you don't have to do that. Just make sure that you are having some sort of balance in your life, and not overdoing it so that you don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to overwhelm yourself so much that you don't want to do this anymore and you just give up. That is not what we want here. We are creating a lifestyle that can be maintained for the rest of your life so that you can be healthy and you can keep off the weight that you want to lose. That's the whole goal, is to be able to maintain it and sustain it. So it's true then, the less calories that I eat, the faster I can lose weight? No. Not necessarily. Your body is extremely smart. And at a certain point, if you're eating too few calories, it will start to think that it's gonna be starved. It'll put you in starvation mode, which means that your body will be holding on to as much fat and turning all the food that you eat into as much fat as possible and holding on as tight as it can because it thinks that it's starving. So it has to hold on to all this fat in order for the days coming when it needs energy, it'll be able to take it from those fat stores. So it thinks that it's starving when you're giving it too few calories, which means that it is going to be holding on to the fat even tighter, and you will start to plateau and start to not see any more results after a while of not eating enough calories. And also, eating too few of calories can wreak havoc on your metabolism. And we all know that eating that low amount of calories is not sustainable in the long term. And so when you eventually go back to eating the regular amount of calories that you were eating before, you will gain all the weight back that you lost plus more, because your metabolism can no longer handle the food that you're giving it. So Shelby, you're saying that I can't eat too many calories or I won't end up losing any weight at all, and I can't eat too few of calories or I still won't end up losing the weight that I want and I'll gain it all back. So what is the right amount of calories to be eating? Well, let me tell you about my experience so far. Like I said before, last summer I lost 40 of the 50 pounds that I've lost so far. And I was not doing any calorie counting at all. All I did last summer was change my eating habits and my mindset and my lifestyle. That is what helped me to begin to lose the weight that I've lost. Some things that I did was replace the sugary drinks that I was eating with water and drinks that have no calories in them. It's crazy how many calories we get from the drinks that we drink during the day, which are not filling us up or helping keep us full. All they are is empty calories that we are taking into our body. So replacing those drinks with water or non-caloric drinks will be a huge help. It was for me. Another thing that I did was just change the things that I ate in general. Before, I ate so much processed food and I started eating more natural foods. I ate a whole lot of meat, vegetables, and fruits. And that was a huge part for me, is changing the things that I ate. The reason that this will help you is because most natural, whole, real foods will have less calories than the calories that you were eating in your processed foods that you're eating before. And also, these natural healthy foods, they have the nutrients that your body needs, and so they will make you feel fuller for longer, which means that you don't feel like you need to go back and eat an hour later, which also means that you will be eating less calories, which will in turn make you lose weight. Some other tips that you could use would be to grab a smaller plate and have a smaller helping, and also to not go back for seconds. That was something that really helped me, and it was kind of hard at first. Like, I always loved having my seconds, but just listening to my body and knowing when I was full or when I had had enough, not necessarily when I used to think of full, I used to think of like stuffed. Like, if I was not stuffed and I didn't feel like, I wasn't full enough. I was gonna keep eating until I was that full and I could not put another bite in my mouth. But listening to your body and knowing when you've had enough, that is super important. Also, be mindful of your snacking. Snacking is not necessarily a bad thing, but when you just walk through the house and grab a thing here and there, and then 5 seconds later go back and grab another thing here and there without really thinking about it, that is when the calories start to add up. So if your snacks are planned and it's something that you just actually sit down and eat, this snack that you plan to have, that's not bad because you are mindful of it. You know what's going on. But just walking through the house and grabbing a little thing here and there, those calories add up. Another thing that you can start doing is keeping track of the things you're eating in a journal. Just writing down everything you eat throughout the day so that at the end of the day, you are held accountable for the things you eat, for one. And also you start to see, oh, I ate this here and I really wasn't really that hungry, so why did I eat that? And it also helps you see those snacks that maybe you aren't thinking about. You wrote them down, so now they're there and you see them. So you are mindful and you are aware of the things that you're eating when you start tracking. But if you're wanting to be a little bit more specific about how many calories you're eating in a day, I actually have a video about this. And in this video, I teach you how to find exactly how many calories you should be eating in a day in order to be losing weight, and also how to track those throughout the day. That video is called How to Lose Weight. And I will make sure to put a card at the end of this video that you guys can click on in order to get to that video. And I'll also put a link in my description below so that you can find the video easily if you are wanting to learn how to track your calories in that way. A lot of people have this misconception, just like I did when I was younger, that if I work out, I can just eat whatever I want because I worked out. But unfortunately, that is not how it works. A bad diet can simply not be outworked. Here's another 80-20 rule that applies here. 80% diet, 20% workout. That is what adds up to your weight loss. 80% diet, so mostly it comes down to the foods that you eat and how much you're eating, just your diet in general. And 20% comes from your workouts and the exercise that you do. Now, that's not saying that working out doesn't help, because it does. But I'm just saying that you would have to run for hours and hours and hours in order to outrun and outwork the calories that you eat. It's so easy to just gobble up 700 calories in about 5 minutes, and then you'd have to go and run for hours in order to burn all of those calories off. And that is just really not a healthy mindset to have. The mindset that you are only up there working out as a punishment for the things that you ate and to outrun and outwork the calories that you ate. It's just not healthy and it's not sustainable. But like I said, working out does help. For a couple reasons. The first, you will be making sure that the weight that you are losing is coming only from your fat stores and not from your muscle. That is to say that you are weight training. If you're just running, then you're still gonna be losing muscle as well as fat while you're dieting. But if you are weight training, which I very highly recommend, then you will be maintaining your muscle while you are dieting and losing fat. Otherwise, you will be losing fat and muscle at the same time. The second reason working out is helpful when you're dieting is that you could probably add 200 or 300 more calories to your food for the day if you're working out. Not 700, 800, or 1,000 more calories if you're working out, but 200 or 300. There is a specific way to figure out how many more calories you can be eating when you're working out than when you are not working out. And I show you that through the video that I was talking about earlier, the how to lose weight video that I made, that will help you calculate and learn how to calculate how many calories you need throughout the day in order to be losing weight. And it plays in working out into that so that you can figure out exactly how many calories you need to be eating. But you don't necessarily have to be that strict at the very beginning. Working out and eating healthy foods and making sure you're controlling your portion sizes will help you lose weight without having to be super strict, at least at the very beginning. What about cheat days? That is a big question when it comes down to being able to maintain and sustain your diet for a long term. For some people, having a cheat day makes dieting so much more manageable. But for others, like me, dieting just makes me want to binge. And I am way more likely to binge if I have any sort of cheat day or cheat meal. Then I'm like, oh, that tasted so good, I just want to eat more and more and more. But that is totally up to you. It's a preference thing. If you know yourself, then make that decision by whether you think that you can handle it or not. And if you don't know if you can handle it or not, try it out. This is a learning experience. There's a learning curve to this dieting and this losing weight and this fitness journey thing. So don't be afraid to try things out and see whether it works for you or not. And if it doesn't work and you do end up messing up or binging, don't fret. It happens to the best of us. Get up the next day, start over again. And don't let yourself be discouraged by those little mistakes that you make. That's just a little tip to throw in there. Like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna mess up sometimes, and you just have to learn to forgive yourself and move on. That is where the real progress comes. Everybody's gonna mess up. It just depends on whether you're strong enough to get up the next day and start fresh and clean again. Don't give up. Just don't give up. That is the main thing here. I do have a few tips for you though if you're wanting to do cheat meals. The first is that if you're wanting to do a cheat meal, you should make sure that it's planned. If you decide just because you see some delicious looking food, oh, I think today will be my cheat day or my cheat meal, that messes with your mind. It makes you think that you've messed up and that you were weak. After you ate that food, you're like, oh my gosh, I just messed up and I totally blew it. And when you feel that way, it's more likely that you will just blow it for the rest of the day. You'll be thinking, oh, I already messed up once. What's the point in sticking with this for the rest of the day? I might as well just eat whatever I want for the rest of the day. So making sure that your cheat meals are planned is very important so that that doesn't happen to you. The second thing is to remember that this is a lifestyle. This is a long-term thing that you are changing in your life. And so making sure that your meals are delicious and new and you're trying new things and you're not getting bored with them is super important so that you don't feel the need to go off and cheat or binge on these certain foods. You are already satisfied with the foods that you're eating. That's not to say that cheat meals are bad. You can have a cheat meal still, even if you are making these delicious foods, but you will feel less inclined to go off and have a huge cheat binge session with yourself if you are already enjoying the foods that you're eating, the healthy foods that you're eating and that you're making, because you're not getting bored with them. Another common misconception that I see floating around, and that I used to believe as well, is that eating late at night will make you gain weight. But that's only like half the truth. That's not necessarily true. If you eat late at night, the only way that that would make you gain weight is, again, if you eat more calories than you are burning throughout the day. And a lot of times eating late at night for people means sitting on the couch while they're watching TV with a bag of something next to them and just piling it in their mouth, and they're not thinking about how much they're eating. And before long, the bag's gone. So obviously at that point, you've ate more calories throughout the day than you have burned, which means that if you were eating late at night, yes, that will eventually make you gain weight because you ate more calories than you were burning throughout the day. This doesn't mean that just because it was at night is the only reason why it made you gain weight. it is because of the amount of calories that you ate throughout the entire day. It all comes down to how much you eat, not when you eat. Another thing with eating late at night is that you might eat late at night, go to bed, wake up the next morning, weigh yourself, and you could be maybe a pound or two up. But that doesn't mean that you gained 2 pounds of fat. That just means that maybe your body hasn't completely digested all the food that you ate the night before, or maybe you're holding on to a little bit more water weight than the day before when you weighed yourself before and you were lighter. So just because you fluctuate up because you ate food the night before does not mean that that is fat that you gained overnight because of the food you ate the night before. All right, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was super helpful for you. If you guys have any questions at all about this topic, leave me a comment in the comment section below and I will be sure to get back to you. And if I have enough questions or things that people are wondering about, I will maybe end up making a second part of this video at some point to answer the questions that you guys have. So feel free to ask any questions that you have or things that you're struggling with, just anything at all. Leave a comment and I will be sure to get back to you and help you out in any possible way that I can. I really enjoyed sharing about this topic with you guys today because I know how confusing it can be and how hard it is to get started because you don't really know where to start. I've been there. I have so been there, but let me tell you, it's possible. And a lot of it comes down to doing your research, experimenting with yourself, and then evaluating how it worked on you, whether it worked for you. Some things will work for some people and other things will work for other people, but not necessarily for you. So it comes down to figuring out what works for you. So don't be afraid to get on that computer, do your research, try it out on yourself. Maybe you'll fail. Don't be afraid to fail, but be afraid to not try it all. Anyways, I hope that you guys have an amazing week and I will see you back here next week. See you later.